and welcome to ThreatTraq Essentials. I'm here this week with John Hogaboom. How you doing, John?
Good, thanks, Don.
Let's talk about the stories that you guys covered on this week's ThreatTraq. The first one was about how some pirated software is now stealing credentials, so yet another reason not to download pirated software, but tell me about it.
Andy had a story about a particular piece of software that's used to generate keys for Microsoft products like Microsoft Windows and Office and whatnot that a lot of people use so they can have a pirated version of those products. But this particular bad actor is Trojaning that. So in addition to getting that software to generate software keys, you're getting their software on there that's harvesting credentials and your crypto wallet information and things like that. So really dangerous, and I would highly recommend people do not do that. Download crackers or any kind of software key generators.
So what's the lesson in a story like this?
Be careful what you download and install, for sure, because you never know what you're going to get, especially when it's something unreputable like this, from the get-go. So, just be careful.
Okay, next, you had a story about ransomware from Cuba. What was going on there?
So FBI sent out a bulletin alerting people to the fact that there's this new group that appears to be originated out of Cuba and is distributing a specific form of ransomware. They've been very successful. They've targeted several victims so far to the tune of asking for $74 million in ransom. They've actually gotten $44 million of that $74 million they've asked for. So pretty successful. It's definitely something that the FBI and law enforcement are, paying close attention to make sure that it doesn't, grow out of control.
So how do you protect yourself from a gang like this?
Well, in particular, we talked about a couple of strategies. This particular gang is using phishing emails as their primary means of entry. So having good protections around your email infrastructure, looking for phishing emails, and even just letting your employee base know, having good security awareness programs that this type of thing is going on, so that they're alert to it, and having good disaster recovery programs, having good security programs around your infrastructure to not expose your workstations with remote desktop protocol. All of those are the types of things that I would caution people against. And there's probably others I'm not even thinking of.
And finally, the last story was about a vulnerability in Zoho software. What is it, and why is it so dangerous?
That Zoho service desk software is kind of like a help desk ticketing type of platform, and it has some administration capabilities for password management and things like that. But the big issue here is that there's a vulnerability that a particular actor group seems to be using. It's not out in the wild. They're just one group, and they seem to be using this. It looks like it's very simple to use in terms of they can deploy malware to an impacted Zoho software server. If they're not updated and patched, they can deploy malware to it and execute it. And then once they've done that, they are deploying this particular web shell to it called Godzilla. And it's I think it's a creative way that they're deploying it as a filter instead of as a direct URL pass, so they can kind of hide their web shell traffic within all the other noise of the legitimate service that's, being serviced on there.
So I take it the advice there is, as always, to patch your software.
Right. And Zoho actually has released patches for this. They've been trying to make their customer base aware of it, but not everybody's getting the message as quick as possible. So if you do use Zoho Service Desk or any of their related software products, go check with them, make sure that you have the latest updated patches, especially if you're impacted by this.
Well, thanks for all that great advice, John. And those of you watching, to keep up with great advice like this every week, like and subscribe below. If you want to take a deeper look at any of these stories, just click on them and watch them in their entirety. And we'll see you next time.